And we're live. It is Friday. It is the 1st of August, the year of our Lord 2025. And yes, Holly and I have an announcement. The cactus has a girlfriend. She lives in Riga, Latvia. I don't really know how they met. It's probably he was, on some mission. But a lot of people were asking why was the cactus in Riga, and the answer is it was a booty call. Um, the cactus went to Riga, um, you know, did his thing with the portrait of Vladimir Putin, did his thing with the girlfriend. We've asked the cactus how serious it is, and he's responded merely by repeating the question, which is kind of his way. The cactus is home now. As you can see, he's there with his uh, cousins, imposters.
Clones,
Um, the
bad clones.
bad clones, right? Um, and we have assured the cactus that we are engaged in an extrication mission to bring his beloved from Riga so that he doesn't have to, disappear in the middle of the night in order to see her. Um, we don't know her name. It may just be Mrs. Cactus. It may be something else. But so we're investigating. Holly, have you been able to extract any information, waterboard the cactus or anything, and get anything out of him about this?
Well, it's funny because waterboarding is actually really effective with cacti because they don't really do well with water.
Right.
So that has come in handy. But no, but I do gather that there's the cacti, unlike human beings, cacti have figured out how to teleport. So
That's
uh,
interesting because, I have been trying to procure the cactus's beloved, and because it's really quite inconvenient for him to have to go to Riga. And she apparently has not learned how to teleport because it will take 25 days for me to receive
wow.
her.
She's
I think she's
swimming.
taking the slow boat from Riga, which may suggest that this romance has an asymmetric enthusiasm problem.
Or an intelligence problem. Like she doesn't sound very bright.
Well, she's a good saxophonist by all
Yeah,
accounts.
she's clearly a jazz musician, which is very cool.
Anyway, we have exhausted the comedic potential of this particular photograph, but and maybe more than exhausted it. Um, Holly, uh, it is August 1st.
Tariff
It,
day.
it is Tariff Day, although not in effect, right? It's the day we announced the tariffs, but we did that yesterday and they go into effect on the 7th.
Oh, see, I don't know why I would be confused about this because it's all been so clear all along. So I don't know, but I thought that at least some of the tariffs went into effect today.
Well, if they do, then happy tariff effectiveness day. If not, then happy tariff announcement day, except that that was really yesterday. It's a Vishla shirt day, and I do think those are special, and we always want to acknowledge Vishla shirt. And it is a Holly hiding behind an amazing array of cacti and snowmen. Um, Folks, the sun isn't shining, which is a good thing because it's so much cooler. The birds are chirping. It's going to be a great frickin' day. And cactuses, do your thing.
Going off the rails. There we go.
You're watching Dog Shirt TV, a forking revolution in morning television.
You are watching Dog Shirt TV, and it is a forking revolution in morning television. And if you cannot hear the cactuses say that, that is because you are not a paid subscriber. And only paid subscribers can
The
hear
dog whistle.
the cactuses. And one of the revolutionary features is that of the show is that we discover stuffed cactuses, talking cactuses of different forms in countries around the world, and we bring you pictures of them. And I promise you, you will never find another television show that does that. And another
Thank
one
God.
of thank God, yeah. And another one of the revolutionary features of the show, of which, as I should have mentioned, there are quite a few, is that sometimes we promise you that Minna is going to be on the show regularly this week, and then she doesn't show up at all. And uh, uh, I am here to convey Minna's apologies. Um, uh, Minna got a new job, and uh, she is had sudden meetings as a result and has not really been on vacation. And so she asks me to convey her deep apologies and notes that uh, um, uh, I don't really pay her enough in order for her to be here on command. And on that, she is
Enough either, but yet here I am. So.
yeah, and on that, she is certainly correct because the Dog Shirt TV revenue sharing agreement shares essentially no revenue because, I do this at a loss, especially when the National Park Service Police sees all my gear. We are not allowed to have fun anymore, but we are allowed to have Holly, who shows up for free or really in exchange for microphones and cactuses. She's a pretty cheap date. And
My husband always said the same thing.
yeah, and Holly, what's on your mind this morning?
Well, first of all, I just want to defend myself with regards to that chaotic cactus performance. It is difficult to manage, certainly more than one cactus, because first of all, you have to turn on the little knob, and then you have to push a button. Then there's a couple buttons that you can push. So you have to push the correct button before it starts repeating what it's hearing. And then there's another button that you don't want to push that sings happy birthday, apparently. So it's just, in my defense, like, I probably need to do some, like, practice drills.
No, I actually think the chaotic nature of the cactus control is hilarious, and you should watch a few of them because watching you struggle with the cactus is completely hilarious.
Fine, fine, fine. Secondly, I have a microphone stand, and I think I've adjusted the volume. And
Doesn't Holly sound fabulous? Greek
I'm told I
chorus?
sound good. Someone wanted me to sing something, which John Hawkinson thought I should sing something, which I don't know about that, but yeah. No, it was not me. He says it
I
was
think
not
you
me.
should sing something.
What should I sing?
Um,
Should I sing The Star Spangled Banner?
that's a hard song.
If you start low enough.
Yeah, you have to start.
Oh, say, can you see? Oh, Defying Gravity. I'm going to try defying gravity. There, how's that?
There we go.
Good, good, good.
Um,
I thought it was Tariff Day for South Africa, which is really the main country I'm watching. And so I was going to do another, and I do have a South African wine I haven't featured before. So I was going to make another drink with me video today.
Excellent.
Um, you still need to
Well,
join me in the drink with me video.
I
Maybe you should
do,
come
but
over.
well, I can't today because Friday is my hell day, as always.
Oh.
Um,
Do you like
because
go through trenches of mud and
no, but
do a
Fridays
million?
are awful. Because here's what we did. So in Lawfare, we moved all of our management meetings to Friday. And then we also have, as you all know, so the whole morning is taken up with management meetings. And then which is good actually in the broad scheme of things because then we don't have any management meetings the rest of the week. But it's hellish on Friday mornings. And then in addition, um we have, as you all know, we have Lawfare Live at the end of the day. And then in between there, um, I have to write a column. And so it's just a very heavy uh, day with lots and lots of. I never leave the house on Fridays. It's just kind of a
And he's frozen. Is he frozen for anyone
frenetic
else?
Zoom activity.
Apparently the hell. You froze for a sec.
Oh,
Apparently
now
Hell
I
Day got you.
unfroze.
Okay, cool.
I think when you guys think I freeze, it's really the rest of the world that freezes.
I see. So you're
I'm
blaming.
never aware of freezing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're blaming us for your problem.
I look, I mean, I am infinitely self-centered, and
We are.
I don't deeply believe that other people actually exist except in my interactions with them.
Yeah.
Um,
I
they
mean, there is a case to be made.
there is evidence that God created all other people in order to interact with me.
Yeah, there's a lot of evidence. And there's also a lot of evidence that the same is true that for me, that all the people are here for me. Or, this whole thing could be just a simulation.
But I don't think there is actually evidence that that's true for you.
Really?
I mean,
Okay.
let's consider. I don't remember you existing prior to our meeting. Um, and so, I mean, yeah, for
Same here, though. So who's right and who's wrong?
no, I, I just think we have to accept that elevating my experience over everything else in the world is the right methodological approach because it's the only one that comports with my experience. And I understand that you can say the same thing, but that's what you would say if you were put there merely to interact with me. John Hawkinson, who is put here merely to interact with me, what's on your mind this
Oh,
morning?
I just thought I would pop up to rail about measurement. And I think I have to say I believe in too much measurement, or I'm at a particular end of the measurement spectrum, and everybody else is somewhere else. But I like to measure things. And this is relevant, Ben, when we talk about freezing, because I think in a formalistic way, uh, it's not really about freezing. As we all know, it's about what I would call segmentation. We've split up the network into pieces, and you're on one piece and we're on another. And, that's that's how it is. Sometimes it might be because you're superior and we're inferior, or maybe the other way around. But the fact that, of course, it's tricky when we ask, where is Riverside? Are you on the same side of the boundary as Riverside, or are you on a different side? The
I think
Riverside.
John is talking in a language that I've never
Yeah.
heard
I don't,
before.
I don't
And
know. I don't think he's real. I think he's a glitch
I
in
think
the
I
program.
think John, you need to unpack this for those of us um who don't speak this particular dialect of English. and explain what the hell you're talking about.
Well, okay. I mean, I don't want to make it too overly technical here, but and I'm also not sure whether we're trying to be serious or humorous, or rather
Yes.
how to split that narrow set of lines without interacting too harshly. But we've got a computer network here, which is an area of my expertise, and networks are, there are nodes on the network and they talk to each other, and sometimes something breaks and they don't talk to each other. And when we say frozen, as everyone knows, no one thinks Ben is actually a character in the children's musical by Robert Anderson and Kristen Anderson Lopez, although he might be an Anna, I think, or maybe an Elsa or an Olaf, probably an Olaf. No one actually thinks Ben's an Olaf. We just say that to mean he's separated from the other nodes in the network. He's off by himself. And so, whether or not he's who's frozen, who's really frozen, it's hard to say. But you probably are wondering what this has to do with measurement. And I think what I really meant to say was, I don't know about you, but whenever I'm doing something like this, I have a little window up that's reporting to me my connectivity and the round
Most
trip
people
time
don't do
between
that, by
me
the
and
way,
some
John.
metric. So I always know whether it's me. What?
Most people don't do that.
For point zero in this conversation was that I measure things that other people don't.
I think most people don't do a lot of the things that John Hawkinson does regularly.
Well, I mean, I think that's true of everyone on screen, to be fair. Most people don't have cactuses. Most people don't have saxophones in Riga. Most people don't have green hair. But, you're nonetheless quite right. But it is a little surprising to me that we don't have more of a culture of measurement in ways that matter. For instance, Riverside in the bottom right corner of all of us has a little graph that indicates our volume, or maybe it's supposed to, or maybe it's just a notional symbol of that. But it could be telling us, actually whether things are good or bad. It could be telling us, hey, you have a connectivity problem. I mean, even Zoom does that in its horrible, your network is unstable. We
But
have,
maybe, wait a minute. Maybe it should be saying something deeper than that, like whether things are good or bad in a kind of metaphysical life sense, right?
I mean, if you want to trust Riverside to report that, I try to strive to measure things that we can measure, concrete, but
I don't
abstract is
know,
okay.
like your general state of well-being in the bottom right corner, your um heart disease risk, um your how many days you are from likely estimated from death,
In
that
my
sort of
office,
thing.
wow, I don't. In my
That
office, we had a little chart. Have you seen those like charts of like which, version of whatever are you today? Like happy, sad, and like you can sort of just point to, for your colleagues, like I'm this today. Do you know what I'm talking about?
right,
Those
but
little
I kind of
charts.
want
Anyway,
Riverside to make the decision for you, rather than rather than having you tell your colleagues this is how I'm feeling today. I want Riverside to have like an objective measure of like,
Oh no, Ben, there's
Holly's
no
doing great today.
It
objectivity.
goes back, sorry, I've been trying to get in here and it's really hard. Um,
There you are. Now you're in.
I hate to interrupt because people tell me I'm interrupting when all I'm trying to do is get a word in edgewise. Um, First of all, John is getting onto something that is actually one of my husband's favorite topics, dealing with, say, political science or economics especially. And the magic word there is metrics, right? Which is to mean defining what it is that you're measuring and giving yourself parameters of accuracy. But I really think what it all boils down to is Rashomon.
it's something Japanese, I assume.
That's a
No,
movie
Oh.
which basically does the real
Reality from many
reality
different
depends on your
characters'
context,
perspectives.
who's looking at it, right? You judge things based on you're looking at it, but also who you are influences how you're looking at it, and then also how you describe it depends on your audience.
Well, I think this explains our political moment because there's obviously a lot of people looking at things and from a standpoint that I am nowhere near.
Well, I mean,
Um,
Holly, absolutely, there's no agreed upon metric for evaluating politics. I mean, some ways you could say that's newer in that we used to have some, but if you ask your husband, the economist in the room, I think he'll say that even in economics, where things are a little more concrete, there are not agreed upon metrics.
oh no,
So,
he would tell you that
That's what
economics
drives
is
my husband,
definitely
who's a
a science.
physicist, crazy about economics talks.
Oh, really? Because my husband, the economist, finds the metrics and models and all of those things in economics woefully lacking, and he wishes economics was a science, but it is not a science.
well,
So,
try politics.
yeah, that's even worse. However, I would say there are some objective, I wouldn't say measures, but I mean, we do have, say, the Constitution that we've at some level we've all agreed to that this is kind of the basis of our political system. And, I thought we had agreed to that. We had a long history of ostensibly agreeing to that. But then someone comes along and says, like, no, actually, no. Or like the Constitution is what I say it is. And then here we are. So,
Well, that's exactly, I mean, you're getting back again to interpretation, which is really what history is all about, right? Um, but it's, again, it depends on what you're looking for and where you're looking from. So that even though we can say, yes, our country is based on the Constitution, or at least used to be, there are going to be disagreements between, say, Mr. Scalia and me about the meaning of the Second Amendment
Oh my goodness.
and how
Before I
best
go, which
to
I
do
have to
that,
do
even
shortly,
historically.
before I go, which I have to do shortly,
Yeah,
I do want to just praise the importance of analog measurement over digital measurement because sometimes analog measurement lets you see how things change over time and whether the needle is fluttering around a little area or a wide area. And that can be incredibly useful. So, just for those of you who are pro digital, don't knock
wants to
analog.
do that as well, John.
They're it's really hard to see effectively. The little bar graphs that move, they're nowhere near as good for the eye to
Well, there's
resolve
graphs and
as
there's
needles.
little, like lines up and down, and
Oh, that's true. That's measuring
there's
something
color
different though.
ranges.
I'm talking about measuring a single number, a single quantity, not measuring a spatial quantity or a repeating signal. But anyway,
So for those of you who are listening to this
oh, I'm
on
so sorry.
Um, John has been for the last several minutes um, simulating my idea of a general well-being metric in the bottom right with a kind of steampunk-like um, uh, gauge. It's completely unclear. It's some kind of pressure gauge,
In
but
fact,
he's holding it up. Yeah, it's the
are the words
last
right reading for you
word.
guys? Because they're backwards for me.
no idea what is going on right now.
Yeah, I mean it's all very complicated and random, but look, sometimes a show goes off the rails and you just have to let it. But anyway, the needle is fluttering back and forth, and that's supposed to somehow indicate whether I'm going to die in the next few minutes.
Well, for those who are only listening, it's a start last word dial test indicator. So you could Google it, and it's measuring thousandths of an inch between 0 and 30, or actually in this case, minus 15 and plus 15. But that's really the same thing. So you can Google start last word indicator and get a picture for those of you who are listening and curious. And it's just measuring actually the displacement of this little ball at the end in thousandths of an inch. It's not actually measuring pressure, although of course
Does having
it's
that give
related.
you the last word?
It could be. Bye bye.
Well,
Well,
apparently not, actually. Um,
right.
well,
Was confusing. And
yeah. So should we talk about anything serious today?
no, in
Did
fact,
you
I
have
have
an
a
agenda?
I
Oh
have an
no.
agenda. I have an
Oh,
agenda,
okay.
actually.
Oh well, let's use Holly's agenda then.
Okay, it is totally not serious at all. Um,
Okay.
but I feel like this show should occasionally enter into realms of pop culture, to stay relevant with the youngs.
Yeah,
And
because we have such a young audience.
yeah,
Yeah, I was wondering how many of us there are because I know that things that deal with cultural references, like the New York Times Connections puzzle,
that
frequently
thing
leave me
kicks my
behind
ass.
for modern stuff.
Yeah, I do. I do connections and Wordle. I don't do all of them, but I do that. And connections, I know there's a few people that create the connections, and some of those people are deranged, I'm convinced. But anyway, that's not the topic
And
that I
some of them are young. Sorry.
have. You seen this controversy over this jeans ad with Sydney Sweeney? Do you know who Sydney Sweeney is,
Not a
Ben
clue.
and Carol?
I don't think I know who Sydney Sweeney is. I certainly don't know of a controversy over a jeans ad involving him or her. Sydney can be
Her.
either.
Sydney Sweeney is a very buxom, sexy young actress. She was in the White Lotus season one, which I did. I watched the White Lotus shows. And anyway, she is young and buxom and very sexy. She is blonde hair and blue eyed, which is relevant to the story. And she's made a commercial for American Eagle that has people like flipping out, and I just need to check myself because I don't get it. I don't understand the controversy. Okay. So this is the ad is that she's lounging in denim, of course, and her boobs are out, not like all the way out, but she's got the cleavage and she's looking super sexy and she's talking in like a very sexy voice, and she's like, and she says something like, genes are passed on from parent to child, determining things like hair color, eye color, blah, blah, blah. And, or she says eye color last, and then it zooms in on her eyes, and she says mine are blue, and then a voiceover comes on, a male voiceover, and says Sydney Sweeney has good genes. And people are losing their mind over this ad. They're saying it is Nazi propaganda eugenics. And I don't get that. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I am very sympathetic to the idea that Nazis are taking over America. That is
You just
something
don't think this is a good example of
I
it.
I don't I think this is a little hysterical. I feel like it's how like the claims of, you often hear the argument, like the claims of sexism or harassment is sort of denigrating or diluting the actual cases of it. I think that's what this is. Like, I don't think this is like what we should be spending time on. But
So I have a few questions just to set the scene for this conversation. Is this is the anger directed at her or at American Eagle?
mainly American Eagle, of course, she's been paid to do this, I guess. I mean, she obviously made a decision to be in the ad. Um, but yeah,
Well,
I
she
don't,
may also not have known the specifics of what was going to be in the ad when she agreed to do it. I think that using those with the woman who looks like that is a poor choice of celebrity endorsement.
yeah, I don't, I guess here's a case of like context matters, and like the broader context of where we are as a society matters, with all of the attacks on DEI and with all the anti-Semitism going on and with the actual Nazis that are in the White House. I get all that. I get why it would color this choice. However, I just don't, yeah, to me, it's just, I mean, it's blatant sort of selling of female sexuality. There she is. Yeah. See, she's got her blonde hair and her big boobs. And
Okay, so let's so that we're all on the same page about this, let's watch the ad in question. Whoops, wrong YouTube. Uh, keep talking, I'll find it.
Okay, I would say that in terms of being overblown, it has to be overblown because it is now something that has come up in front of me, right? Before this, I don't know whether it was overblown, but if it's popular culture and it's something and it gets to me, it must be overblown because
well,
I
I'm
am
sorry that you
pretty
can
much
blame me
oblivious.
for that, but again,
No,
I
no,
know
no, it's
about it.
fine. It's fine.
All
It's
right, so
I'm just
let's
by definition, if
watch
we're
the
talking
ad.
about metrics, getting to me is a good definition of popular culture being overblown. A good metric. Anyway, let's
All
watch.
right, so let's watch the ad so we can all be on the same page here and all have opinions.
Jeans. That they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. Or that they make your butt look amazing. Why would I need to do that? But if you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not going to stop you. But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you to buy American Eagle jeans.
Sydney Sweeney has very keen.
Oh, so
You see what I
that's
did
not
there,
the
right?
that's not the one that has gotten the spot. That is a very weird ad just on an advertising basis because she's like saying like, and someone in the chat, by the way, brought up a point about this ad, but actually applies to like all advertising involving beautiful people. And that is like they put these beautiful people in the clothes and it's like, oh, our clothes make you look beautiful. And it's like, no, like you have gone out and found like the most beautiful people and they could be in anything. You could put them in prison, some sort of prison wear, and they would make that look great, because it's not your clothes are not it. Like that is
Right, when she says it makes your butt look good, I'm like, yeah, it makes your butt
her
look
butt look good. Yeah. So I mean and yet we keep falling for it, especially women. We should quit falling for this shit because, and I have and with regards to skincare and makeup, I've completely like there is no wrinkle cream that's gonna like make me look like, Cindy Crawford, at my age or whatever. Like I never looked like Cindy Crawford. I will never look like Cindy Crawford. And so I can save my money and not buy the cream or whatever.
Okay, so I am having trouble finding the actual ad.
Um, yeah, I don't know. It's a
And
specific spot where she's talking about genetics, basically.
I mean, can I just say I'm going to give up on finding the ad. Can I just say that uh you know, finding like the the part of this that is really objectionable to me is not the eugenics. It's the bad genes pun because like we all made this pun when we were like 10. Um,
Yeah.
oh, you have good genes. Okay, so we have found the relevant ad. So let's watch and ask yourself. Let's all ask ourselves: is the problem here the eugenics or the fact that the writers came up with a super dumb pun to?
Yeah, this is it. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye
Oh
color.
my God. Sorry.
My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very keen.
Genes are passed down from parents to
Sorry, the zipping up the zipper really got to me there.
Yeah, Carol, we'll never get past the point where female sexuality is not exploited, just in case you were wondering. Like,
No, no.
yeah.
Believe me, I'm a lot older than you. I have a lot of experience seeing this. I have experienced seeing attempts to get it, toned down, if not destroyed, and yet here we are.
Yeah, and
Well, I
I'm
will
still
just
only
say
giving
that I
women
am
the go.
grateful. I'm
So
grateful to the algorithm here because anytime there is a young woman in a sexually uh, semi-suggestive position on screen and the algorithm doesn't try to sell her to me, I feel like I've gotten away with something because the algorithm is convinced that I want to buy a young woman and is merely arguing with itself about whether
well,
that's an Asian
he's frozen
woman
again, but
or an Eastern European woman.
yeah, well, I will say that you just bought an Eastern European woman cactus flower jazz singer.
And
So,
yet, the algorithm will not conclude from that that I want more cactuses. It
Well,
will
it
say,
isn't.
ah, Riga, he wants a Baltic young woman.
yeah.
Um, I'm telling you.
Yes.
So
So
the algorithm did not try to sell me Sydney Sweeney. It merely tried to use her body to convinced me of to buy some jeans and made a bad pun about genetics. So I'm actually not especially uh, uh, flustered by this ad.
yeah. So my
I
point,
just want
and
to throw in for no particular reason. My mother told me that's why she and my father decided to have children because they thought they had pretty good genes they should pass on.
yes, many. That's why everybody has children. I mean, many who is like, well, you know what? I'm a shit person. I'm horribly ugly and dumb and have no real value, and so I'm not gonna have children for that reason. Nobody does that. So
Right. I just
everybody
want to say also that my mother was probably right. She had pretty good genes, but oh boy, was she wrong about my dad.
Hmm. I'm sure there's lots of
Family history
stories.
there. Anyway, so once again, eye of the beholder.
All
Yeah.
right, I just want to say I'm with Holly on this. This ad, if I were advising American Eagle, I would say it's in bad taste. Don't do it.
For like
Especially
10 different
for
reasons.
like 10 different reasons.
Right.
Um, and having somebody talk about uh, I don't know, the whole thing is in bad taste. If you're saying among the list of things out there for me to be offended by right now, even in the realm of, racial um, insensitivity, hostility, nastiness, does this rate? No. Um,
Sorry, I am interrupting. Go ahead.
no, no, go ahead.
You
I
should
was going to
learn
say, I
about
wonder
it,
if
girl.
some of the kerfuffle isn't partly because of our current political system, all right? I think that the size of it might be something that is because this is the the implications that can be read into this resonate in such a way. I mean, all of these things are completely under attack, right? I mean, the idea that this is a good representation of genetics. And it's interesting also that from what you've been talking, it's the genetics because of the tagline and everything. And I'm absolutely on board with that interpretation. But it is also incredibly sexist.
Oh yeah.
That's the whole
But
industry.
but it's
Is it?
not more
See, I
sexist
never
than
see.
than
I never.
other, you know, female models modeling jeans ads, is it?
No,
I
it's
have no idea because I never see them, and that's where I'm coming from.
I mean, it's typical and frankly, a lot of this use of female sexuality in advertising and beauty and fashion and what have you, a lot of it's aimed at women. I've always found it like if you look at like Maxim or whatever, what is it full of? Beautiful women, and if you look at Glamour and Cosmo, what is it full of? Beautiful women.
Right.
And so they're selling the idea of desirability, which I guess women, that's something we want or should want. to women. And a lot of this is aimed at like, we want to be Sydney Sweeney. We want to be that sexy or what have you. So, and women keep falling for it. So I blame women on this front, to a large extent. You know, we have fallen for the myth that if we buy this makeup or these jeans or this dress, like somehow we're going to look like a model like forever. And we haven't really clued in that, guess what? It is genetics. That's what the ironic thing about the ad is. It's like, it's kind of giving away the plot of the whole system. You know, like, guess what? It's not the genes. It is Sydney Sweeney's genetics. She's incredibly genetically blessed. Like, somehow, I don't know who her parents are, but
Although
somehow,
she might be a moron.
well,
Genetically blessed in one very limited sense.
well, they say actually she is pretty smart. I don't really know, but she
I have
does.
no opinion about that. I'm just saying,
Right.
nobody is genetically
Certainly,
blessed
certainly
in
nothing in
general.
this ad suggests
Well,
that.
I do have one friend in particular I have in mind who is, you know, you kind of hate her on a certain level because she's gorgeous and she's brilliant and she's like multi-talented.
Is she happy?
She is. She's a great person. Like overall, she's just a great person. And yeah, and you love her, but you also hate her a little bit because, stop it. You know what I'm saying? And that's genetic. Like she won some, I think this is not going to be popular, but I think intelligence is somewhat genetic. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of things are genetic. And in fact, as a parent, I think we've had this conversation, Ben, like anyone who's a parent, these kids come to you and like their personalities and so much of who they are, you can see like almost from the beginning. Like my two kids are so different and I could tell from like within weeks I could tell. And a lot of their personality traits are really baked in. I've done minimal parenting as I've discussed. I'm a minimalist parent. And I don't believe that parenting within realms of like healthy, human relationship, I don't think parenting actually makes a huge difference. So, I'm sorry, does that make me a Nazi to think that genetics are very powerful and determine much of who we are and what we look like?
All right. Go ahead.
I would agree with a lot of that, but I do think that, environment has a lot of effect on children and as they're growing up. And I think it goes far beyond what a parent does. And I also think that there's intelligence that I do think that there is a component of intelligence, although there are many different kinds of intelligence, that is inborn. But where it goes depends on how
Sure.
hard you work with it, right? And
Absolutely.
how
There's a
you
lot
use
of,
it.
obviously, and obviously, but in terms of
But
like
how that happens is partly going to have to do with what people see and who they decide to imitate. And
All right.
I'll give it, well, so on. I don't have to give an example.
Holly, next item on your agenda.
oh, well, relatedly, so your algorithm feed is dominated by wanting you to buy Eastern European women.
And sometimes Asian women.
Okay. So my feed
I
is,
think, by the way, the Asian women thing is universal for males. Because like the Eastern European thing is because I'm friends with Nastya and a bunch of other Eastern European women. But I think like all 55-year-old men, like the algorithm blasts them with, don't you want to buy a 22-year-old Asian woman? Um,
me too. Hopefully.
yeah, hopefully. Um, and so like I don't think I have there's no particular reason why I should be uh being sold Asian women. I think that's just because I'm a particular age.
All right. Well, that's your feed. So my feed, the algorithm is convinced that I want to know how to dress according to my style archetype. And also I need that I want Ozempic. But I'm going to stay on the fashion point on this. And like literally, there's like a million ads about like, oh, what is your style archetype? AI can help you dress better. And I love how it's assuming that I give a fuck, first of all. Like, excuse me, I'm like on this show in my pajamas like every freaking day. So I'm amused by that. But then I decided that I needed to look into this because I was intrigued as to what it would tell me my style archetype is. Now,
Now,
unfortunately,
does it like dress you in different clothes to figure it
well,
out? Because I think we could use a we could use a photo essay of how the AI dresses Holly.
well, that's what I was hoping to do, but apparently you have to pay for that and sign up for like a subscription, which I did
No,
not. Like if it was just
no.
a one-time payment to get your sort of style archetype, okay, but it was like a subscription or like multiple, like payments or whatever, and I was like, I'm not doing that. So, so yeah, unfortunately, I
Maybe
don't.
I'll do that.
No, well, I was going to give you one quiz on the show today.
Okay.
So this is a free little thing from apparently a British woman online named Roberta. And she has a very short quiz on which of your style archetype that you are. She has a limited number of style archetypes, but some of the others I think are more complicated. Okay, so it's only 5 questions. Oh, I guess Carol doesn't want to take the style archetype
Well,
quiz.
her revealed preferences is that she doesn't want her style
Well,
archetype.
see, the funny
I
thing is,
want mine though.
Carol definitely has a style archetype because she came on today with a real statement of glasses, hair, shirt, and mug, all teal, which I think is the style archetype would love that for her. And I think would classify her as bohemian. But anyway, so this is just a short quiz and it's not AI generated. It's better if it's AI generated, is what the algorithm is telling me.
I didn't realize you wanted to give me the quiz too.
I mean, you can. I don't think you need to take the quiz. I think you are a style archetype. I
Yeah,
think,
Blue.
yeah, I think you are a model of like, so what it's all about, and it's particularly important, Carol, I'm told by the algorithm, for older women to know your style archetype because otherwise, like, you don't know what to put on your, ancient, decrepit body.
Ancient withered
You
body.
know, like it's just you get a certain age and it's like your brain like doesn't know how to put on clothes, and so therefore you need like a computer to advise you on like how are you going to dress your horrible, crinkly body. You need some help with that. So it's very age directed. I feel honestly personally attacked, that this is something that it thinks that I need. But anyway, so I think you are a style archetype. You are a vision in teal. That is your style archetype. You're bohemian. You are your own person. I love you. I love that for you, Carol. I don't think you need any help, but Ben needs help. So we'll go with that. So this is a very short quiz. It's not AI. It's just very basic. What colors do you feel most comfortable wearing? And here are the options, Ben. Pay attention. Crisp neutrals like black, white, and beige. Number 2, warm earthy tones like browns, greens, or rust. C, vibrant or intense colors like red, cobalt, and neon. D, soft pastel shades of pink, lavender, and baby blue. And lastly, subdued neutrals or minimal patterns. Think effortless.
Well, I gotta go with the warm earth tones since
Oh,
that's the average color of the
the
dog
dog
shirts, I
shirt.
think.
Okay, so that's a B. Keep track. It's B. Keep
B.
track. Okay, what is your go-to accessory, Ben? A classic watch or pearl earrings.
Nope.
B, a fringe suede bag or layered beaded necklaces.
Nope.
C, statement earrings or a bold shoulder jacket. Jacket, Ben.
I mean, Yeah, I'd have to go with that so
Okay,
far,
well,
but
we're not done yet. D, a delicate floral scarf or lace hairband.
no, I think I've got to go with the jacket.
Okay,
It's
last
the only
option
one I
though.
ever wear.
A simple baseball cap or understated studs.
Oh, I do wear the Witoed cap and the University of Ghana cap, and so I'm going to go with the simple baseball cap.
Okay. All right, so you've got a B and an E.
BE for
All
Ben.
right. Okay. We're just going to spell your name. Number 3, how would you describe your ideal outfit? A tailored blazer with trousers. It's good to wear trousers rather than not wearing pants. That's
I wear jeans, Holly, because I
okay.
have good jeans.
Okay.
Mine are blue.
Okay, B, a flowy maxi dress with sandals.
I
C,
do wear sandals a
suit.
lot,
A power suit with dramatic shoulders. I mean, your shoulders are dramatic, I will say.
but I don't wear a power suit.
The first time I met you, I was like, now he has dramatic shoulders. D, a lace blouse with a midi skirt. Or E, a comfy pair of jeans and a soft t-shirt.
Well, so I never wear jeans, but I do wear sweatpants a lot. And the t-shirt. So I'm gonna go spiritually with the comfy pair of jeans because it's the analog to it is my daily uniform, but I don't actually ever wear jeans.
Yeah, because jeans
Ask me
are
why.
comfortable. Jeans are actually not comfortable. It took me decades to realize this. Actually, I learned this early as a child, and then I unlearned it because I wanted to look like Sydney Sweeney. And then it took me decades of discomfort to learn that jeans are not comfortable.
Yeah.
So I'm
Ask me
moving on.
why I never wear jeans.
Why don't you ever wear jeans?
Because I have very hairy legs and jeans pull on the hair of my legs and they hurt. Whereas sweatpants, taekwondo pants, Japanese uh, construction worker pants of the type that I'm wearing now, uh, loose drawstring pants don't pull on the hair of my legs. They're much more comfortable. So yeah, I don't really wear jeans, but I'm gonna go with E anyway because the spiritual quality of what.
For it's the
Yeah.
archetype. Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
BEE now.
Okay, number 4. This one's going to be really telling. Which celebrity style do you admire the most? A, Meghan Markle, polished and sophisticated. B, and a lot of these people you aren't even going to know who they are.
Yeah,
So,
I've heard of Meghan Markle.
okay. Do you know who Vanessa Hudgens is?
No.
Okay, well, she's boho chic. I think maybe Carol is a Vanessa Hudgens person. I think
Oh,
you're boho chic, Carol.
This
Number
is what I'm wearing is misleading, but go ahead.
C, Grace Jones. You know who Grace Jones is because for an old person. Or Miley Cyrus. Bold statements. D, Zoe Deschanel and I'm so proud I know how to say Deschanel. Or Taylor Swift, feminine and whimsical. Or E, Jennifer Aniston, effortless and casual. Effortless.
well, I gotta go with effortless and casual because if there's one thing dog shirts are, is they're effortless. You throw them on and they're casual. And the only effort goes in periodically ordering a bunch of dog shirts. So I have no opinion about Jennifer Aniston, whom I've heard of, but I can't visualize. I don't know what what look we're talking about here. But effortless and casual does seem to me to be the right answer to the question. So I'm B.
Yeah. So last question, and then it will tell you what your archetype is, which will, I'm sure, be a shock to you, given that most of your answers have been E. This is the last question. If you had to describe yourself, what 3 words would you use? Polished, sophisticated, professional. B, free-spirited, creative, laid back. C, bold, confident, unapologetic. D, soft, feminine, sentimental. Or E, easygoing, comfortable, down to earth. How would we describe Ben, guys?
Well, it's going to be either C or E, right?
No, it could be B, free-spirited, creative, and laid back. That sounds like you.
Wait, give me the options between B, C, and E, and then we're
So
just going to
B,
have the Greek chorus vote because
B
I don't.
is free-spirited, creative, and laid back. And C is bold, confident, and unapologetic. And then E is easygoing, comfortable, and down to earth.
All right, guys, which is it? Because I'm not. All of those sound totally self-congratulatory to me, and I don't really want
Well,
to.
that's the whole point of this of fashion, is so that you feel good about yourself and you're congratulating yourself on your clothes. So, I don't know. I'm gonna go with B for this one.
All right, so it's Beeb.
Yeah, it's a combination of B and E. So your style archetype would be mostly E, but partly B. So I'm going to start with reading you what E is. So that's natural or casual. And I'm sure you needed a quiz to tell you that you like casual clothes.
Yeah, I really didn't know that about myself.
Yeah, I didn't. Most of us probably do like casual clothes because I think most people wear other things just because they have to in certain things. Okay, so it says your style is relaxed, comfortable, and fuss-free. And key
No
pieces.
shit.
Key pieces, easy fits, jeans and tees, neutral or earthy shades, minimal styling, practical footwear. Do you wear practical footwear?
As opposed to impractical footwear.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't wear like stiletto heels.
Yeah. Okay, so now this is the real self awareness and understanding piece of it. So your style reveals your personality traits, and your personality traits are easygoing, prefer simplicity in daily routines and social interactions. You're practical, Ben. You value function and comfort as much as, if not more than, style. Approachable, projects a friendly, down-to-earth vibe, making others feel comfortable. I would say that's true about you. Authentic, unconcerned with impressing through flash.
But
And adaptable, moves smoothly between different environments without much fuss. I think this has nailed you, man. This has nailed you. I could give this Roberta person some credit here. Like, this is the essence of Ben, with just a touch of bohemian, which is the second one, free-spirited, eclectic, and nature-inspired. I don't know about nature, but yeah, creative, adventurous, laid back, open-minded, soulful. Are you soulful, Ben?
oh yes.
Yeah. Anyway, there's just one example of the many things I'm being bombarded with by the internet.
Wow. I should bring an example of the things that I'm being bombarded with because I have to say yours are basically pretty wholesome.
They're not going to get you involved in any crimes.
Yeah, mine are unbelievably disgusting, and half of them should be illegal. And I've been sharing them regularly with Ev Gamon because she's very interested in the algorithm's choices in life. And we've been trying to train the algorithm not to feed me this stuff, and it doesn't work. Like, it'll stop for a couple days, but then it's like, are you sure you don't want to have an affair with a 17-year-old? Are you sure? Because I know you're a creep.
I suggest, here's what you need to do, Ben, and I'd be very interested to see the algorithmic response. I want you to go in your social media and do searches for style archetype quizzes and or menopause solutions. And then I want you to search the internet and I want you to just spend some time with menopause.
It won't be
Um,
fooled.
yeah,
It'll be
no,
like you're asking this because um because you're you know, because you want to have an affair with a 19-year-old.
yeah, because you want to know that if you marry the mail order bride from Latvia now, in 30 years, what will she be like during menopause?
Right.
That's
That's
why
what
you want
it'll
to know.
figure out. It's terrible, and the moral of the story is don't ever get interested in Ukraine, um, and don't ever accept a friend request or follow on social media a young Ukrainian woman. Just don't do it, because
It's
once you do
already done
that,
it, and yet I'm getting menopause and
you
style
are
archetype.
sealed in as a pedophile creep, and the algorithm is coming for you for the rest of your life. Look, folks, we're going to be back on Monday. Whoa, you're muted, Carol.
Carol
You,
is muted. Unmute.
I've unmuted her.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. My algorithm gives me comfortable shoes.
You know, that's the most wholesome thing I've heard all week, and I think that's great. I wish for you all comfortable shoes from the algorithm. We're going to be back on Monday. It's going to be fabulous. Have a great weekend. And this show was wonderfully inane. And may your algorithm be more like Carol's than like either mine or Holly's.